Hello everyone, my name is Elizabeth Mazingo and this is my scavenger hunt vlog on how dance and communication correlate. This course is called COM 601, also known as Communication Fluency. Today's date is May 28, 2017. I will be presenting to you the literature review section of the article titled Orientation for Communication, Embodiment and the Language of Dance. This article is peer-reviewed and found in a journal titled the Empedocles European Journal for the Philosophy of Communication. The author of this article is named Adesola Akinley. I chose dance as a topic of interest because it is something I have been passionate about my whole life. I started taking dance when I was 2 years old, and my favorite form of dance is ballet. Another reason I chose dance is because I work at my old studio called Dance Unlimited. After many years of dancing and communicating, I believe there is a connection between dance and communication, so I wanted to have a better understanding of how this works. According to the authors Dewey, Boydston, Levine, and Schusterman, whose works were cited by Akinley in the article, the important concepts of this article are embodiment, its two concepts of transaction and situation, embodiment as an interaction, soma aesthetics and its three categories, which are theoretical construction of the body, exploration into use of body, and practical expertise and experience of doing, and last but not least, language as the heart of communication. We have to give credit to Dewey for his work on embodiment and the two concepts that fall under this category. The first concept is transaction. According to Dewey, Boydston, and Levine, as cited in Akinley's article, it is the methodological explanation of how body, reflective thought, and environment are co-constructed in embodiment. This means the dancer is creating communication through his or her movement, the emotions he or she is portraying, and the environment in which he or she is creating this form of communication. As said by the author Sheets Johnston, as cited by Akinley in the articles, transaction correlates with contact improvisation. Improvisation is a term used by those in the theatrical world. Improvisation for a dancer means there is no set movement. The dancer must fully rely on the music and his or her emotions to lead the form of movement he or she desires to perform. The second concept of embodiment, according to Morgan Beezer, as cited in the article by Akinley, is situation, which is a container or unifying quality that can be used to identify events. Dewey argues, as cited in Akinley's article, that embodiment is interactive and connected to the environment. For a dancer, this means their movement is portraying a story they are communicating to the audience, and the environment in which this takes place is a part of the story. As Akinley describes it in the article, the intertwining of body, reflective thought, and environment, which is central in dance since dance movement is primarily recognizable through considered shifts of muscle and bone in space and time. The next important topic discussed in the literature review is soma aesthetics. According to Schusterman, who was mentioned before and cited by Akinley in the article, soma aesthetics is a disciplinary proposal for organizing identification of experiences. There are three categories of soma aesthetics. The first is theoretical construction of the body. The second is exploration into use of the body, and the third is practical expertise and experience doing. Akinley states in the article that dance is beneficial to soma aesthetic language because it adds an emotional form of communication. A dance can tell a story of sadness, happiness, anger, or mixed emotions, but each story is a dancer's way of communicating to the audience. Merce Cunningham, Dorothy Humphrey, Martha Graham, and Twyla Tharp, as cited in Akinley's article, say that they believe their movement and emotions are a language of dance. In conclusion, according to Ochkin and Richards, as cited in the article, language does not have to be verbal. Gestures are a form of language. Dance is filled with gestures, which makes it a form of communication. To end this presentation, I would like to quote Akinley in the article, which states, "Embodiment is a process of transaction in which there are many modes of communication and many ways to communicate the lived experience." These are the references used in Akinley's article, Orientation for Communication, Embodiment, and the Language of Dance.